And I think what really is, for me, even today, after so many years of the Right to Information movement and after 5 years of the Act, I still feel awed that this thing has happened. So today we're talking about how India and Brazil, I don't know which other country was mentioned, is full of self-flagellation. But what they cannot do, I would like to say, I begin on a very optimistic note, that I think this country has tremendous potential, that if the people of this country, with all the corruption and all the mafia and all the systems that have gone wrong in this country, could through their non-violent movement fight and get the Right to Information Act passed in Parliament, then I think some things are possible in this country. So the university that you plan, if it perseveres, I'm sure it'll bring in a new agenda. The thing is, we have to keep changing and adapting to information that comes our way. I'll talk about Section 4 of the Act. The Right to Information Act has one Section 4, which deals with suo motu disclosure. Every time we went to government and asked for information, they didn't give it to us. Sushila, my friend who was 4th class pass, I remember in 1996, we sat on a huge sit-down strike in Biawar. For 40 days, we were on the street. And after that, a campaign was formed called the National Campaign for People's Right to Information, in which people from all over the country joined. There were just ex-justices, the chairman of the Press Council of India, there were big journalists, there were editors. I mean, it became a huge campaign. And they had a press conference, and Sushila went from Rajasthan to that press conference. And they asked her, why are you here? What do you know about right to information? You're a woman, should be asking for roti, kapda, makan, food, clothing, and shelter. Why are you here asking for information? And she said to them, if I send my son with 10 rupees to the marketplace, I ask him for accounts. The government spends billions of rupees in my name. Do you think I won't ask for my accounts? Our money, our accounts. Hamara paisa, hamara hisab became a huge slogan for fighting for right to information all over the country. And they don't prepare for all this. I've thought about what I'll say today, but she wasn't prepared. So it's this kind of mind, this kind of political understanding and ethics that gave birth to the right to information. And it was through people like Sushila that Section 4, which is obligatory suo motu disclosure of a government, of what it is doing inside the office to people, became a part of the Act. So there are 17 subclauses in the Act in which you have to display all relevant information outside on a board. It's still not done because the corrupt administration in this country knows that once those boards are up, they are totally accountable. So we are fighting even today, even in the state of Rajasthan, to get these boards up. But it is a list of promises that the government has to keep for us. And we are fighting to get them to implement this tooth and nail. And this was a big debated issue. The Prime Minister didn't want it. He wanted this particular clause taken out. And I remember we went and lobbied with him several times. And the last time we went, Mr. VP Singh got the appointment because the Prime Minister would not see us from the campaign. Mr. VP Singh got the appointment and we all went. And we said to him, if you don't have this clause, keep the Act. Because nobody is going to give us the information. And I remember Mr. VP Singh coming out and saying, Ek mein man nahi hai. That is for the Right to Information Act. And for NREGA said, Ek mein mani nahi hai. The arguments that the government said at that time. Ek mein man nahi hai, ek mein mani nahi hai. But he said, hum ladenge. So that was the whole issue. Man means they didn't have the will to give us right to information because that meant that they would lay themselves open to real shift of power. But power has shifted today. It's shifting. And this is something which we have to recognize. Those of us who went to the Panchayat office and were beaten up, today they close the Panchayat office and run away. The social audit that we have conducted recently, which is a kind of public hearing of the Panchayats, there's been such an uproar that all of them have got together again to protest against it, which means that they are corrupt. And when they said that they didn't want us to do the social audit of the NREGA works in Rajasthan recently, government has done it and government has unearthed tremendous amount of corruption. So they understand that transparency is death's knell and accountability is the end of their careers. But we people haven't realized how much we should use this. Actually, right to information has been, for all of us in this country, a real political tool but we haven't understood it. Really, much of us have stopped with arguments about commissions, arguments about powers, arguments about the Act. But we don't realize that through the right to information, actually, we can change India. But we'll have to have concerted campaigns. We'll have to have coordinated campaigns. We'll have to understand that through right to information, we can make public mafia, we can make public education policy, we can make public health policies, we can make public all the various things that disturb us. Also, the kind of malfunctioning and misgovernance and arbitrary use of power, like Gujarat, where friends of ours have used right to information to get dignity back to all those minorities who had been completely hounded and killed during 2002. So actually, right to information is a very, very powerful tool. It establishes beyond doubt that you can really change the power equation, you can change election, because after all now we have an election watch, where in a different campaign you've got the right to see, the candidates have to file affidavits, you can see the records. So there have been simultaneously many other campaigns. But the point is that this is established beyond a doubt the fact that every one of us must take part in public life. Because this is not something that just a campaign can do. If we do not interface with government or with every functioning system that we interface with, where we feel there is the law has been broken or the rights have been broken, or like now with Chhattisgarh, that we feel that Salva Judum and Mao, the Maoists are two political entities, but what is wrong with the people? The people are suffering. Everywhere right to information is a tool, and the government is reacting to right to information as if we are Naxalites. So that shows the power of this tool and how powerful it is to get decency and democracy back and constitutional rights back into this country. And I really think any curricula that you formulate, plan in your new university, should somewhere have the right to information and its use for whatever you plan to do